Hello and welcome. This is Faceless Opinion, currently gambling on a questionable sport. Welcome you back to another video. It has been a hot minute since I've made any type of videos related to anime whatsoever, and for that I apologize. To make it up to you guys, I'm going to give you something that will more than make up for my lack of content on that front. Let's talk about some weird anime. Which one? So many to pick, but I am confident in, well, mostly confident. Okay, maybe not that confident, but I got something. I just hope the YouTube overlords don't hunt me down and wipe my channel from existence. What anime am I talking about? A little sports anime called Keijo. What is that? Well, you're going to find out. Now, before we talk about what exactly this anime is, we should talk about its inception. Keijo, followed by 8 exclamation points because 7 wasn't enough, is a sports manga series which translates to Hip Whip Girl, which was written by Daiichi Tsuruyomi. It would be released in July of 2013, being serialized by the Shogakukan magazine known as Weekly Shonen Sunday. The manga would last all the way until April of 2017, spanning 177 chapters, being broken down into 18 volumes with a few bonus chapters sprinkled in, while the anime adaptation of Keijo would be aired in October of 2016, produced by Zexby, and would be streamed on Crunchyroll, with an English dub following shortly after by Funimation. The anime would last for 12 episodes. Now, what is this story about? As I stated earlier, this is a sports series that revolves around the fictitious sport known as Keijo. The premise of Keijo, the sport, not the story, we'll get there in a little bit, but first I need to explain the rules of it, which are as follow. It is an all-female sport in which the competitors fight on a floating platform called a land. The land is floating on top of a body of water, and the goal is to knock your opponent off of it, which sounds simple enough, but there is a catch. You can only use, and I have to be careful with my wording here or else the YouTube overlords might not be too happy with me. Let's see how to put it. The women have to use their pectorals and gluteus maximus. So think of it as sumo wrestling, but more risque, and they're not fat. Now the premise of Keijo, the story, not the sport, follows Nozomi Kamanashi, a gymnast from a poor family who has a dream of becoming a prize queen so she can make a boatload of money to help her family, leading to her joining the premier Keijo academy, Satochi, to get a better understanding and learn new techniques that will help her in the pro league. While in Satochi, she would end up meeting and befriending many of the girls there, forming an incredibly close bond with her roommates. Sayaka Miyata, a judo prodigy who quit to become a Keijo player, known Toyoguchi, a total klutz who ends up falling on her face and starts speaking with a farmer accent when flustered, and finally Kazane Alba, the quiet girl who is an expert strategist. We see these 4 on their journey starting from the bottom of their class, working their way to the elite class, becoming MVPs for the elite class, to end up joining the pro division, with each of the 4 having their own respective gimmicks. Nozomi, due to her background in gymnastics, means she has very good techniques. Her ultimate move she likes to rely on is something called the vacuum butt cannon, an ability that is so powerful that it can generate air currents that can rip off another woman's swimsuit. Miyata is hands down the fastest player at their school and created a technique to increase her speed so much that it appears that she is teleporting. She accomplishes this by, and I kid you not, by giving herself a wedgie. There's a scientific explanation on how this is supposed to work in universe, but I'd rather just move on. Noan has something called soft buns, where her buns are soft and can nullify and repel most attacks. Because why not? While for Alba, she has a skill called Scanning Hand, where if she touches another girl's behind, she can replicate their moveset, which on paper makes her come off as unbeatable. However, the one issue with that ability is that she can't pop a field during a match since you can only use their, their chicken breasts and drumsticks during a match. Why did I phrase it like that? Great, now I want KFC. I'll be back.
It's finger licking good!
Moving on. With a series like this, you're going to see a fair share of wackiness. I mean, that is natural by the nature of the sport. You're going to see a variety of players who have their unique quirks that they bring to the table. Many of Nozomi's classmates have their own special gimmicks and special moves. One of the funniest names for an attack move has to be the Ass of Varja. I don't know why I find it funny, but I do. Now, I would like the record to show that I don't really recall what some of the names of the classmates are, so I'm just going to give them questionable nicknames. We got the purple hair girl, who can target an opponent's vitals with pinpoint accuracy, who is also boy crazy as well. We have the lesbian chick, who is apparently one of the best players at Satoshi, and also wants one-on-one time with the other girls, if you know what I mean. We also have Headphone Girl, who I guess you can say has a sentient behind, since her buttocks can, and I'm not making this up, can fight other Keijo players without her having to put much effort into it, like it's an attack dog or something. She also listens to yaoi content, by the way. That is some of the people that Nozomi and her friends go to class with. We haven't even touched up on the girls from their rival school, Tsuruga. Some noteworthy people would be the fairy chick, who believes that fairies are helping her during her matches. We got the girl with a magician's gimmick, who can make herself appear and disappear. And not to mention, when she ends up getting defeated, a comically large amount of playing cards come out of her crack. I don't know, just go along with it. I don't get it either. We got the big chonky lady, whose attacks give Attack on Titan vibes. Then we go to the final antagonist, or rival of the series, and that would be the bipolar chick, who has a split personality. As I mentioned earlier, this series has a colorful cast of characters, and if I try to talk about every single one of these players who play Keijo, we might be here for an incredibly long amount of time, so I'm gonna move this along. Alright, for my review of Keijo, honestly, it's not that bad. I thought it was pretty okay. Does it make my top 10 list? No. Would I recommend it to someone? Maybe. Depends on whether the person I am talking to has an interest in watching an ecchi anime, and as long as they don't judge me for even knowing what this series even is. Though, it's not like it is a total what the F I am watching type of series. Comparing this to something like Shimoneta, something that I made a video on, Keijo, by comparison, is a lot more tamed, which I am fine with. When it comes to the plot, it's serviceable and doesn't have anything outlandish. Well, maybe the sport that revolves around, but no bizarre story beats. It goes the way you think it does, with Nozomi starting off at the bottom and working her way to the top through hard work and determination. My only real critique I would have would be that the story kind of goes a bit fast, like Nozomi and her friends start off in the regular class, then in a relatively short amount of time get placed in the elite class. Now, I do believe that both Nozomi and Miyata deserve to be in the elite class. They are that good and earn their spots, while for their roommates, I'm a bit iffy on. Alba has the potential to be in the elite class, but her win-loss record is lousy. And secondly, Alba works better in a team-based environment, which is fine in school and at the East-West tournament. Well, in the Pro League, where it is more often than not going to be every woman for themselves, I question if she can do well in a solo capacity. Then we get to None, and I'm not going to lie, I think she got lucky. Granted, she's not the only one who I think shouldn't be in the elite class, as I think there are at least 2, maybe 3 girls that shouldn't be in there either, but that is besides the point. I think what I'm trying to get at is maybe we should have had some more matches where we have the different girls face off with different opponents, so we cannot just see Nozomi and Ko improve, but also their other classmates as well, and see what they got. I think we would all be open to see that. Keijo only lasted for 12 episodes and covered all the way up until chapter 87 in the manga, with it ending with Nozomi finishing up her time at Satoshi and getting ready to enter the pros. Unfortunately, we never got a continuation of Nozomi's journey of trying to become a prize queen. Why was that the case? Why is there no season 2? After doing some research online, from what I gathered is that there were low sales for the manga, low sales for DVDs, and it not being very popular to begin with. Those were the reasons that I found anyways. Whether you want to believe the validity of those statements is up to you. If you want my point of view on the whole thing and the reason why, here it is. The manga sales, I couldn't really find anything that could confirm nor deny that, so it is within the realm of possibility. When it comes to DVD sales, I feel like that is rather contentious, mainly because most people watch anime from either streaming sites or miscellaneous websites, meaning that DVDs are becoming more and more irrelevant with each passing year. Granted, this series came out in 2016, but the statement still stands. While for the popularity side of things, I actually believe this one the most, especially from my own experience. I remember back in 2016 when I was still in university and a friend of mine told me about this series, and we watched the first few episodes in his dorm room. Then I watched the rest of the series when it came out, then afterwards, I straight up forgot about it for years. It did not enter my mind up until the time of me working on this video. And when I rewatched it, I did not remember a single thing of my first viewing of it years prior. And I'm not being hyperbolic, I'm being absolutely honest with you. I remember nothing of it. So I guess the big issue would be that Keijo is not memorable, and as a result, the popularity kinda takes a dive since people forget about it. It's a bizarre thing to say, but it's true. With the amount of crap I gave Shimoneta, you don't forget what happened there. I remember 2/3 of the stuff that happened, and the things I forgot, I began to recall during a second viewing. Unlike Keijo, where I watched it and nothing really rang a bell for me on that second viewing. Which makes me wonder, if there was a season 2, would I notice it? Would I care to watch it? I have my doubts on that. Well, for those who are fans of the show and want to know what happened, I recommend reading the manga, since the anime definitely didn't show everything and there's a lot more to this story. Anyhow, tell me, what do you think? Do you like Keijo? Do you think we'll ever get a season 2? If this was a real sport, would you watch it? If you are a woman and just happened to click this video on accident and stayed until the end, would you want to play Keijo? Tell me in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, I will catch you all on the flip side.